Yep. Also live on YouTube. Hey, Drew. Working on it. I wonder what happens if I put a little blue into it here. Nah. That's pretty nasty. I don't think that's what I want. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna go get something to drink. we're tracking pretty good tonight. Guiding pretty good. The auto guider. 0.28, 0.3, 0.2. Less than half an arc a second. Oh, that is an arc seconds. Okay, good. Yeah, we're plus or minus 1. All right. Let's see what's going on over here. Got 3 people watching. Over there. Okay. Oh, hi, Robert. Very good. Yeah, I'm just working on 106. I'm broadcasting on YouTube as well as networks, Night Sky Network. System seems to be working good. We're taking 5-minute frames with my one-shot color camera on the 10-inch RC. I'll combine tonight's data with data I've collected on this object over the last couple of weeks. Or I might not. Some of my other data's got some artifacts that I don't have in today's data, so I may not even add those in. I may just take tonight's data as is. It's a lot cleaner chip. Got most of the dust donuts are gone. Got a few tiny ones still in there, but I was able to get the camera shop to get the infrared, the IR cut filter off my camera last week, so I was able to clean between the 2 filters that I had, which helped quite a bit. was slowly accumulating dust donuts in between the filters. So once I got that off, I was able to clean them. I actually moved one of them up the optical train so they don't present donuts anymore. They're 20, let's see. They're 41 millimeters in front of the chip now instead of 17. Effectively taking two optical surfaces and moving them away from the chip so you don't see dust donuts anymore from those, at least. There's still some on the AR window, but there's not as many. And then the actual sensor window's got some on them. Got a few on them. Those are hard to see. That image is starting to get some detail in it now. So get more frames in. See how many frames? I got 8 frames now. It's 40 minutes. Let's see here. Hmm. It's always moving in the same direction. Excuse me. I still got that glow on that side. I know I have everything. There's no lights out there whatsoever, so interesting artifacts. Hmm. 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 That Dave?
It is. Hi.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Dinner's done, and this is a nice galaxy.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of fun to gather data on it. It's got like the inner section is easy to get. The outer section it's hard.
That it's much clearly much fainter.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oops. Sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm going to minimize this guy. We're just going to leave this guy up here. This is what you guys care about is the nice color pictures, so I'll just do that.
Well, different people, different things.
Oh, that's okay. I'm still gathering the data I want to gather. I'm just saying that not, the font on my data acquisition software is so tiny that people can't read it anyway, so. Because of my monitor. My monitor's a 34-inch monitor, but its resolution is 3440 by 1440, so the fonts are pretty tiny.
Well, you could. Seems to me there's a setting in Windows that lets you kick the font size up.
Yeah. Then I run out of real estate.
Yeah, I was going to say it might not work as well for you.
Yeah, I've got all my software on the right-hand side here, kind of out of the way of the same monitor. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
How come I can't grab that?
Yeah, I know some people really like to see the settings, but if you can't read them, what's the point of?
Exactly. I can't grab that box. Oh, there we go. Now I grabbed it. But let me pop this back up over here, but I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm going to put it over on the other side. The other half of my monitor. So there we go. So I basically have my 34-inch cut in half. You guys are seeing the left-hand half, and I've got all my software on the right-hand side.
How long have you been on this target?
Let's see, 9 frame, 45 minutes.
And oh, okay. So it's still improving.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's still improving. And I'm dithering. And I've got dark frames. The fact is, Astro Toaster can't process it anywhere near as good as I can in PixInsight. I mean, this is the final result right here. From the previous runs. Here, let's see here. Here we go. Here's from the previous runs.
Okay.
Right. And that's processed. That's 76 frames by 300 or by 5 minutes each. So it's a lot. It's a lot of data. It's over
Yeah.
six. It's over 6 hours of data. But that's what you can do with PixInsight. You can't do anything near this well in Astro Toaster. Just
No.
can't.
Well, it's different.
Yeah, different purposes. So I'm just collecting more data. When I go to bed, I'm going to start my morning galaxy run. Now I won't be broadcasting that, but I'll set my morning run up and I'll let it go for 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours while I'm sleeping. Tonight's just looking at pretty pictures nights.
Nothing wrong with pretty pictures.
No. So I took care of my laptop issue where it would start the backup to my NAS, right? The laptop sits out in the observatory and it's wirelessly connected to the house. And every time I boot it up by about 7 o'clock in the evening when I'm going to use it for the observatory, it would start a backup even though I've disabled the backup. It would still start it. So I just connected my NAS, so now I can't back it up at all. I said, screw this. I'm going to just take the NAS offline while I'm running the observatory. I'll plug it back in when I'm done. Because once it does that, it hogs the Wi-Fi, and I have no control over the laptop from the house then.
Well, surely there must be you've missed something for stopping the backups.
Oh, no, I don't know. I go in there and it says Windows Update has been disabled, yet it still tries to back them up. So, yeah, I'm missing something.
Well, my NAS drive is sitting about 2 feet from the router, and there's no cable between them. So,
Well, the NAS drive's actually plugged into the router. It's the laptop that's on the wireless.
right, I don't have my drive plugged in, so it doesn't. No issues arise.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
the location was one that uh, the router set up where in order to give me good wireless coverage at the observatory, which I'm not now using, but that's the way I set it up. And the cat discovered that it is possible to knock the drive away from the router. So it was either whether fasten everything down or just disconnect it and move it so the cat couldn't get in. I think she thought it was kind of fun to jump up there and
Whack it
bat the
around.
drive.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course. They love knocking stuff down.
yeah,
I don't know why, but they do.
yeah. I'm sure it has something to do with food.
Yeah.
Cats are very food oriented.
Oh, yes, I know. I have two cats. I know.
Oh yeah, okay. If you look underneath it all, it's all about killing and food.
Yep. I should check. Do I have? Speak up for a second.
Speaking up
Okay.
for 1 second.
You're being recorded, by the way.
Ah,
If you don't want me to record you, I will shut it off.
will I be preserved for eternity?
Well, you'll be on my YouTube channel.
You know, my moment of fame, my brief moment of fame.
Yeah, because I'm broadcasting both here at Night Sky Networks and also on my YouTube channel. And using QB or OBS, I can control all the inputs and outputs um, associated with the broadcast. So people on my YouTube channel can actually hear you talking.
Hi, YouTube channel.
Hmm?
I said, hi, YouTube channel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have 4 people over there watching.
Well,
That's how I used to broadcast before I got involved with you guys over at NSN.
so now you have a lot more. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here, 9. and maybe more because they don't always all show up.
Right. But the other thing is I'll record while I'm sleeping, so if an event occurs, I can go back to the video and see what happened.
Well, that's clever. Actually, it is. And storage is cheap and reusable.
Yep. So we have other galaxies besides this big one in the field of view.
I see that.
I like to plate solve. I'll go after these little galaxy clusters, and then I'll plate solve the entire frame to see what else is in there. Lots of PGCs, 17th, 18th, and 19th magnitude.
The question was asked the other day, and I no idea. What is the most distant object recognizable, which would mean a galaxy, that you can see with this kind of equipment that we're using?
You mean you can record on digitally, or you can actually
Well, that you can look at the image and say, "Aha, that's a galaxy." Not, "Aha, that point of light is a quasar."
300 million light years.
Well, I knew you could get out well past 100 million. I thought 150 million was perfectly reasonable. But so you're saying 300 million?
Yeah.
Or the galaxies become so small that they are not recognizable.
They're just dots.
Yeah.
But you can plate solve them.
Yes. Or as I didn't realize, you can see quasars that go back billions.
Yeah.
But they just look like, in most cases, they just simply look like stars. So
yeah.
So I saw an image of a gravitationally lensed quasar that had spread out and it had some, whether it was false or not, color to it, which was kind of surprising. It would put a fringe around one side of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the image was. Of course, it's always hard to know whether somebody's image is accurate or whether we're seeing noise.
Oh, for those of you on YouTube, go down to the settings and set the resolution to high definition. For some reason, when most of you folks it defaults to either 340 or 720, but I'm actually broadcasting at 1440p. So go down to that little gear icon, click on it, and select 1440p. You'll be able to see it better. There you go. All right, sorry. That would be my public service announcement. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Well, no, I had nothing significant to say.
I actually have that as a note in the broadcast.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
Doug Bach.
Oh, okay. It's not Northern Skies.
Oh no, actually it is Northern Cross Observatory is the name, but it's under my name. My YouTube channel's under my name.
Okay.
But if you just go to my YouTube channel right now, it says I'm live at Northern Cross Observatory.
I see you there with a profile of your scope.
You just click.
Your browser does not currently. Oh, I'm using the wrong browser.
You're using. Yeah, you don't want to use
that. Yeah, I have to go get a real browser. Yeah. Actually, actually Chrome Portable loads pretty fast. It's not. There's some things to like about it, but not for your site on YouTube.
No. I think it's kind of strange that NSN only works with Chrome Portable.
That's according to Chris, due to some change in the standards that was incorporated in the more recent updates of every other browser.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe hasn't been able to work out an economical way to update the site.
Oh, okay. I still am getting this glow up in the upper right corner. I can't figure out where that's coming from. I wonder if I should drop this back to unit again for the rest of these. I don't think I'm saturating the core. Let me check that. No, not even halfway. 40. Well, there's 149,000. But no, I'm not saturating the core. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my standard. So all my dark frames are at that standard. So
So on YouTube, we're seeing your whole desktop.
that's correct. Plus, in the lower right-hand corner, when I turn on the infrared camera, you'll be able to see the scope itself. I just turned it on. It'll take about 20 seconds to get to YouTube.
And because I have the audio from NSN and your YouTube channel going here, everything is taking a long, slow loop to
Yeah,
an echo.
yeah. So you can mute the YouTube and just watch the visual if you want. And make sure you go to HD resolution so you can see everything. Because actually, in that resolution, you go full screen with it. You can just about see the text.
Mine goes to HD by default.
Okay, good. Space-time coming up there. How far are we from our hour? Oh, we're 3 hours to Meridian. 3.5 hours almost to Meridian. We're in good shape. 6 hours to limit, so we won't flip for another 4 hours if I stay on this object. I'm just kind of waiting for the Virgo cluster to get up high enough that I can actually go after it. Let me go check that. Let's see where we're at here. South. Looking south. And yeah, I mean, the only reason I'm able to get 106 because it's so far north. And the Virgo cluster is down here. Oh, let me just pick one to figure out what the altitude is. It's 36 degrees off the eastern horizon. Let me see where M100 is. Because it's in my list to get to. It's 38 degrees. It's almost time where I could start going after those. If I get down to 104, I can't. It's too low right now. It's only 15 degrees off the southeast horizon, so I can't go after that one yet. I think I should order my Pierre extension so I can get a little better southern exposure. But right now I'm up here at 106, which is, it's 64 degrees off the or 54 degrees in altitude. It's only 64 degrees azimuth, so it was easy to start picking it up early. It's over in the northeast. And I think I'm done with. I actually had a. I got to start writing this stuff down. It's kind of silly. I had some items that I wanted to go after. I might have them listed here. Hang on. Where did I put that? It is. Oh no, I know where I got it. I got to go over here. Got to go to my other monitor here. And pull up this guy. Pull up my list. Oh yeah, these were just some clusters of galaxies. Pretty boring, little tiny things. The box in Coma Berenices, Copeland septet, really tiny, 5 arc minutes across. Hickson group 57. That one's in Leo. That one's up. That should be up pretty good right now. But it is really tiny. That stuff I would go after and just for grins. Let's see if I can find where that is. I'm going to add those into my list, but they'll be at the bottom. So I'll go to my toolbox, observing lists, March. That one's already in it. Let me take the rest of them and import them. Come over here. Import targets from DSO browser list. Okay.
Yep. It appears the resolution watching your YouTube channel on an HD display is better than the resolution on Night Skies Network.
Yeah, I can believe that because it doesn't. Night Sky Network will not render my resolution. We already determined that's one of the reasons why I only show you guys part of my screen.
Right. Well, I'm looking at the same. I mean, I'm looking at it on a 1080 display, so it should be the same. But I can read the print on the application interfaces much more easily on the YouTube channel than I can read the print on the NSN channel.
Yeah, because I don't think NSN is broadcasting any more than 720p.
Yeah, there certainly is a lot of compression involved.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed when I started broadcasting with you guys was that was not as good.
Yeah, most of the time you might not notice it, but
right.
Standing up close with my proper glasses on, I could see the difference. But you can't talk on the YouTube channel, right?
No, you guys can't. No.
Yeah, you can, but
I can, but the guests cannot. I'd have to open up a Google Meetup to do that, to have a conference call. So that's kind of the nice thing about NSN is everybody can talk as long as they have an ID on NSN.
Right. So I'm listening on NSN, watching on YouTube.
I actually have a discourse or a Discord account that people can log into that and talk to me while I'm on my YouTube channel. That's how I've done that in the past. People wanted to chat with me, they just log into my Discord channel. and we can have a conversation that way.
Oh, I see you've got comments and you've got Ken on,
Yeah.
and he says hi Ken. I'll say back hi Ken.
Yep.
I've I have that is I don't have that view because in order to get the image of the galaxy, none of that is uh, visible on the screen. I have
Well,
to roll it off.
you scroll down.
Yeah, yeah, but it's kind of it's that's got some drawbacks as NSN. You know, you can it's convenient most of the time to hide the chat box in order to maximize the
Right.
rest of what you've got going.
Right.
And the same thing here, you have to go down to look.
Or you go back to the smaller view and it's on the side.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then if I go back to the smaller view, there's no advantage to watching it,
Right.
particularly on YouTube.
Right.
But it certainly works.
It's it has
And
quite a bit of delay on the YouTube channel though.
well, it's funny. As I say, I've muted the sound on YouTube, but earlier I would talk, and then after a long, or you would talk, and then after a long interval, I would hear again through the NSN channel. It was very, it's as if you were in an enormous space,
Well,
so
I'm
that the echo
broadcasting
was
from Jupiter.
all right. Well, that would do it.
Well, or no, I'm
What's
halfway.
the
I'm
speed of
halfway. I'm halfway to Mars.
what's the speed of sound in a vacuum again?
0. No, it's all RF.
But there's no real vacuum out there,
No,
so
but it's all RF. It's all radio frequency. The only reason
yeah.
you hear me is you got headsets on. The RF is being converted to audio.
Well, I normally wear aluminum foil to prevent that.
Oh, okay. Hello, Ken. Yeah, you hear Dave because I'm broadcasting input from NSN through OBS Studio to YouTube, so you can hear whoever's talking to me in NSN can be heard on YouTube. And YouTube's recording this, so I can always go back and reference. I sometimes leave the YouTube running overnight, and if I get a failure mode, it goes into recovery. I could go back to the video and find out when that happened and what it was trying to do to determine what the failure mode was. I can also, without doing it to YouTube, I can actually stream to my own drive and replay it. But if you go through my YouTube channel, you'll find I have a couple hundred of these broadcasts um, over the last couple of years. Some of them are pretty lengthy and not really. I mean, if you want to go to sleep, you should watch one. You'll doze off in about 10 minutes. That's about how exciting they are. And I have my time lapse stuff on there too for the comets that I've done and the asteroids I've done, etc. So
Well, if I get bored, I can drop down to the recommended list on YouTube and watch a video on building spruce airplanes. A topic I've never expressed any interest in, but there it is.
building what kind of planes?
A
Spruce?
spruce. Actually, I suppose it'd be building airplanes with spruce, but there it is.
Hmm. Like
Also,
this,
here's a place that wants to show me ghosts.
like the old big
I don't
spruce goose that what's his name built in the 30s or the 40s?
40s.
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Yeah, he made the spruce goose. I remember seeing that down in
Long Beach?
Long Beach. Yeah, and I think it was
Now
in.
it's up in Oregon or somewhere, I think.
I was down I was down in Long Beach in 2000 or 2001. I thought it was there.
Well, yeah, I've been to LA many times, and somehow I've never managed to get over to see that plane or the Queen Mary.
Oh, I sat on the bow of the Queen Mary and had a cocktail looking at the sunset that trip.
Well, why not?
It was either the bow or the stern. I don't remember, but might have been the stern.
Probably the stern.
Yeah, it's a little bar back there.
Probably yeah.
That was
The
a cool.
bows of those ships.
That was a neat trip. It was in the company sent me there on training for Vax internals, and was that in 2000? No, that was. Oh my gosh, I've lost. No, that was 86, 87, I think. Holy cow! What am I thinking?
You're
Oh,
getting old.
uh, I know I was. Oh, in 2000, I was out there for. I was at the Kodak facility out there, getting a first view of their high-speed imaging cameras for the safety labs. Because I worked at the safety labs at Ford Motor Company for some years, and I was their techie guy. So I had to. I was out there for that. I think that was out there. Boy, I don't know. I've been a lot of places.
High speed cameras, as in watching things fail.
Yeah, for crash analysis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, running 1,000 frames per second to do the dummy kinematics as the vehicle hits the wall. So you can watch the airbags deploy and the dummies, their kinematics of the dummies as they move. You get timing and positions of where they go as the impact occurs, things like that.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, we had a 4,000 frames per second camera for windshield intrusion to detect when, at what speed, and at what force did an antenna intrude on the windshield. And
Do
when
you
did,
realize how odd that sounds in the ordinary world? A discussion of windshield intrusion. If you
yeah.
ask 9 out of 10 people, they'd think burglar. Or
Well, it was a metal rod that intruded in the glass, but it happened to be the antenna.
I never thought anybody would study that kind of thing, but so I've just learned something.
Well, what I did for Ford Motor Company was, I was in the IT organization, but I worked in the test labs as a real-time technical specialist. And my job was to put solutions together to collect and control data acquisition and control systems. And in the safety labs, our job was to have, I built 4 solutions for them. In fact, Ford is just now decommissioning my last solution I built for them 19 years ago and putting a new one in place. Um, to acquire data up to 512 channels on a vehicle of instrumentation, to acquire high speed video on rear, all types of impacts. And there was all these government regulations that require you to do testing for X, Y, and Z. And sometimes the new X coming in the door required a new type of, data collection or a new type of um, fixture or et cetera, to meet those requirements. So, and usually the requirements were 3, 4, 5 years out. So we had to start development work on those tests, types of tests, in order to meet the regulations in the years ahead. So that's what I worked on.
Well, how about you never think about that when you see those videos of the cars slamming into to the immovable object
Right.
that somebody has equipped that car with sensors and cameras are watching from every angle and
Yep. It's quite a production. And I wrote all the processing software to do the analysis. I, I set up all their databases and their web tools, search engines, etc. So I did a lot of stuff for the company.
wow. I kind of assumed a project like that would be a gang of people.
Yeah. In some cases, it was a gang of people, which I ended up being the project lead and the designer. So the last instance, I actually hired a company with 20 developers, and I did the architecture for them, and then they built it.
How about that? I'm impressed. I am.
I don't talk about my work very often because most people don't understand it. But I'm retired now, so I don't have to do that anymore. So, anyways, building this automated observatory was a piece of cake.
Well, a lot is now clear.
Yeah.
This changes. I now understand you in a different way.
Not necessarily good, but you do.
Well, it's different. I don't say I understand you. That would be going too far. But whatever understanding I have is certainly now different. And because you are more interested in data acquisition and you talk about this as a data acquisition process much more than most people do.
Oh yeah, this was an automated solution that I had planned to put together to acquire and control, and so that I could maximize the few nights that I have clear weather here in Michigan by getting data and still get some sleep.
No,
So
we
that's
see a pretty picture. You say data.
yeah, I do.
Oh no, fair enough.
So when you plate solve a frame that comes back and you look at it, say, oh, look at all these other galaxies that I just got in this acquisition, um, which I find kind of interesting that my little 10-inch out here in my little backyard can take an image and then solve it and find all these galaxies. See those?
Yeah,
There's over 50 galaxies in that one frame. And I think that's kind of cool that I can actually acquire that with what I consider
I was
very
yeah,
modern
I was
equipment.
just thinking about taking a snap of your on-screen image and uploading it to Observatory. And here we go. Yeah, that is
Oh,
something new here all the time.
yeah. Um,
Because I don't think if I was looking at that, I would see 50.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
But
14,
I
15,
believe
16.
you.
Well, I've only looked at the top section of blue, and there's 15 right there. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. So there's at least 60 in there.
All right.
And if you were to take that picture and just look at it, you'd say, "Oh, that's nice. I see about a dozen." But there's
Yeah,
more.
that's what I was thinking. There's I could probably pick out a 10 or so.
And the source data for that, let's see here. Get out of the plate solve list and go to the other list. Um, let's see, that was centered on 1275. 1275. And let's see here. This is the source data for that. Okay?
All right.
That's 360 minutes of data. So basically 5 hours or 6 hours. And you could probably count a 20 of these because I've oversaturated the galaxies a bit to make them kind of reddish oranges, right?
Right.
So you can see more of them, but there's a bunch in there that are not that color that are also in here. So there's the source, there's the plate solve. So, and let me see, where's that 106? Nope, That's not it. Where is it? This one? No, where is it? Okay, so the one I'm taking an image of now, plate solved, is right there. There's the big primary one, but there's only 5 more in this field of view, just off the edges. But the ones off the edges are just dots. So you may or may not have recognized them as galaxies because they're so tiny. So that's kind of the neat thing about it.
Yeah, it is.
Still don't know what this glow on the right-hand side is from. And it's got to be amp glow. That's the only thing I can think of. I wonder if I should try that experiment. I should drop this down to unity gain one night and just run it all night, see what kind of background I get out of that. I'm already 16 frames in on this one at 300 gain though. I got that little dust donut right there. And there's a little one down there. Not as bad as before. I got less dust donuts today than I did a month ago. So progress.
I would never talk about another man's dust bunnies.
Yeah. Oh, they're so annoying. I need to set up a mechanism for taking flats. I haven't done that yet. I think that's something to be done this spring as the weather gets better. I can set up something I can automatically take flats. We'll see. Let's see. Do I want to go after this anymore or not? Let me see here. Let me check where I'm pointing here. I'm still well in the northeast. I'm good. We could go after these guys now. They're up far enough, I think. And no, they're still on the marine. Which one was that? That was 66, wasn't it? Let me take a look again. Well, that one's 65. That was 60. Yeah, that's 66. All right, we'll start up our Leo run now. Let's see, where are we there? That should be. Yeah, it's 50 degrees up. I can get to that easy now. Okay. Now, what I've got is I've got a sequence that's got, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 25 galaxies in it. And they are my March, April, and May targets. basically as much of the Virgo cluster as I can get to. So I'm actually going to start with, see, where's 98 at? I've already got the early part. 98. That one is, yeah, okay. We can start hitting those now. We're going to turn 98, 99, where's 61? That one's not up yet. That one's too far south to go after right now. So we'll skip that one. We're on 106 already. I already did 3370. Actually, I need to redo 3371. I didn't like the results last time. Now I'm going to skip that one for tonight. We're going to go to 100. 84 and 86 are there in the Mercurian chain. We're going to do short shots of those tonight. And then later in the next week, maybe during the new moon, I'll go after the black eye and the sombrero. I got too many things that I want to do, and I can't do them all in one night. Wah. All right, so what do we got on 106 so far? We've got 17. Let's go 18 frames on that one. We're on the 18th frame now, so I'll hit that 18. So it'll be an hour and a half. And then what do we got below this? M100. I don't want that to go next. So I'll pause the sequence and start it up at the top. Actually, no. Yeah. Let's start at 98. We're going to go short with that one. It is now slewing. I want to pause the sequence. Yes. We get rid of this. It's slewing to 100 now. Close that. Yeah, it's going to play. It's going on. Nope, it went to 98. Good. That's where I really wanted it to go, anyways. So it's going to plate solve 98. I'll let it take a couple of samples, and then I'll decide how long I want to go with them. So these are first time acquisitions for this system, 98 and company. Okay, Ken. Let's go to second round. 662 pixels off. Let me see where the scope is here. Yeah, it's over to the east, a little bit south. Good position right now. Yeah, if I put another foot of pier on there, I can get down below 15 degrees in the south as opposed to 22. I almost wish I had a place right on that on the equator. I have the whole sky to myself.
I guess you would.
Yeah.
You might not like the weather.
No, probably not. A little on the warm side. Okay, so this is,
So you want a 20,000-foot mountain at the equator.
yeah. Oh, this has got a little interesting loop to it. Okay. We've got a really dim star we're gathering. Yeah, SNR is pretty weak. But it is guiding. Okay, good. See, in my guide camera, the star right in the middle of the galaxy is in the field of view as well. So if I had the 1600 camera, I could see most of what the 071 sees and be able to track. Wouldn't even ever have to worry about a guide star. This lodestar is pretty small. All right, so how many frames I got set up? 12. Okay. Got that set for an hour. And I may not even do that. I may only do 3 frames would be 15 minutes. We'll see. We'll get this first one back. When they're kind of nondescript galaxies, I don't collect a lot of data on them. You know, little ellipticals or a cluster of ellipticals. If they have no structure to them, I don't really bother collecting too much data on them. Just enough to plate solve for other galaxies. Or
Seems,
just go ahead.
I would say that seems perfectly reasonable.
The fun thing about clusters of galaxies is seeing how deep you can go. I mean, I've gotten down to 19th magnitude with a scope for 19th magnitude galaxies. I don't know. I haven't measured what the stellar depth has been.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
But it takes a lot of exposure to do that, a lot of integration. I've gotten away from my comments. I should be going after my comments tonight. Let me go look up my comment list here. Comments, there we are. Heavens above, comments. Iwamoto is still viable, and it is, however, it's below my horizon now. Can't go get it. Ratanen, is in the southeast in Leo Minor. How could it be 83 degrees above the horizon in Leo Minor? That's impossible. What the heck? Let me go look that up.
Well, I'm going to duck away and make some coffee. I'll be back later.
Okay. Actually, it's 46p. Let me just go by that. 46p. There we go. I want to find the center of that. Oh, it's way the heck up there. It is up high. Huh. What is the magnitude? Well, that listed at 17, but it's 11.5 according to this source here. That would be one worth taking a snapshot. I've been following it for months. Let me just do that. Well, for now. Too much to decide on. Too many things to go after. If I had more clear nights, it'd be better. Split the load across a week instead of having to jump on everything one night, get a little bit of everything, and wait another month. All right, so there is 98. Let me stretch that a little bit so we can see what it looks like here. Huh. Got some structure to it. No, I don't want that one. Change the settings. There we go. Browse. It's 98. Okay. Apply. Pull up our dark frames. While that's working on that, I'll get this out of the way so we can see what's going on. All right. So this is M98. And we'll make the font a little bigger. All right, so now got M98 up there with Astro Toaster. The first frame just came back. I think I'll shut off the IR camera out in the observatory. Boy, it takes a long time for this to update on YouTube. That's pretty amazing. It's almost instant on NSN. There we go. Had to do a refresh. That was it. Oh, there's lots of people on NSN tonight, which means that I can go away and people still have things to go look at.
Working well. It's funny. The reason for the other mount's kind of been dealt with in this one. So you kind of fixed it
Yeah.
somehow. I don't know what
Well,
you did to make it work, but it's working.
well, it was buggered up quite bad. I had to rebend the thing, and oh, what a nightmare that was.
A lot of stuff, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But I'll tell you, the other mount is much better though because it's got the newer worm and better motors and everything. It's a newer mount, but this one's not bad. This is
No, I
this
mean
is
it's working.
okay.
People, low span Ds are we're kind of a standard,
Yep. Okay, let's increase this to 90. Here we go. All right, I'll